she is Ms. Jivika Uchil. She is graduated engineer from University of Mumbai. She is a lead auditor ISO 27001, ISO 27000, 701, ISO 9001, ISO 13485, ISO 45001, and ISO 14001. Completed 100 plus information security project as a lead consultant. She has a 4-year experience in Cert Value Private Limited as a manager, lead implementer, business improvement. I'm not going to waste your valuable time in this moment. I cordially invite Ms. Jivika to take over the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sujani, for a warm introduction. And welcome everyone on board to this project, to this seminar today. I would like to thank everyone who has been cordial enough to remove time from their busy schedule and be a part of this session. Also, I would like to thank Halcyon, who has been doing a tremendous work to put together this Information Security Management System seminar. So to begin with, we would like to introduce ourselves. Okay, I would be today hosting the entire session. My name is Jivika. I am a certified lead auditor for multiple ISO standards, and information security management system is one of the key aspects and one of my key specializations. I am representing today a Cert Value. This is a global consulting service provider. We are established in India and we partner with Halcyon Group for providing all the consulting services within Sri Lanka. Today's session basically would be an interactive session and I would appreciate everyone to be a part of it. Definitely, if anyone has any suggestions, questions, we would request them to please kindly mention them within the chat window, where our executives would definitely go ahead and make sure that these questions are taken up at the end of the session and I can address them. Okay. So basically today here we have gathered to talk about an very well-spoken, very much hyped about subject, which is information security. Definitely it deserves every credit for its importance. And today here, I believe everyone present would agree to it that it wouldn't have been possible without the technological advancement for everyone us to gather under the same roof, be a part of this presentation just a click away of a button, right? So I would also like the entire team present here to voluntarily give us a small introduction about themselves. And it would be great if they can also tell us which industry do they represent here today. So can I have some volunteers from the team, please? And we can definitely pick up volunteers. Can I have Mr. Pushpika? If he can tell us which is the team that he is representing, which is the nature of business or the information technology segment that he is representing here today. Sujani, if you could just unmute Mr. Pushpika from the crowd, please. Or else we do have an option wherein Mr. Pushpika can directly write down on the chat window so that I can, on behalf of him, talk and explain where is he representing from. Sure. So Mr. Pushpika says that he is from the manufacturing sector. Let us all ask few more people. So Mr. Lakhmal, can you please let us know which industrial background are you representing today? Okay, I believe there is some, I think network issue from his end. Nevertheless, we can proceed. The whole idea for this session and me to ask the question was to understand and highlight that irrespective of any industrial segment that we belong to, today here we have this crowd collected to attend this seminar only and only because each and every one here knows how important information assets are, and if not appropriately kept secured, what damage can it cause to the organization in terms of financial damage and also in terms of brand damage. Now, making sure that these are kept secured and the least information security breaches to happen, we shall now proceed with the presentation. I would also like to highlight that the main heroes of today's presentation are going to be information and technology. And the whole presentation is going to be covering these two main heroes and the efforts that every organization should put into practice to protect these key heroes. Okay. So the next thing that I would like everyone to notice that is that we have been a part of an industrial revolution in terms of the technological advancements that we are having, right? We have been a part of this technology for decades, though it be in the form of industrial revolutions, wherein technological advancements made sure that we achieve maximum output and minimum or considerably zero wastage. This is what was the main ideology when we started adopting technology as a part and parcel of our lives. And at this point of time, we can definitely say that technology has practically contributed to every aspect of our lives today. It was not without technology where we could effectively handle the pandemic situation. We wouldn't have thought of it 2 or 3 years down the lane that there would be a situation where majority of our workforce would be forced to work from home. And it was only because of the technological advancements that we have that this shift was made easier. And even during this pandemic affecting us globally, we are still able to make sure that we are having effective and quality services delivered to our client with the least losses across our industrial sectors. Also, I would like to highlight that information technology or these technological advancements are not only related to IT sectors. These also play a crucial role on upward growth of all the industrial sectors, including manufacturing, healthcare, government sectors, education, energy, and utility sectors. Now, there is also certain concerns that affect our heroes, and that is our responsibility to make sure that these concerns are highlighted and addressed effectively. Okay. Now, with growing dependencies on technology, definitely there are multiple security concerns which are on rise. Common security concerns which are recently been highlighted, also backed up with statistical studies, are the phishing attacks, man in the middle attack. Even SQL injections are some kind of threats which are increasing. We do have DOS attack, we do have eavesdropping attack, password compromise attacks, and even ransomware is on high course. Now, we do need to understand that internet is a wonderful tool, but if technology is growing at such high rate, then without having adequate safety messages or warnings or controls in place, this technology can be considered as the worst advancement of human race. Okay, not to say this, we would also like to highlight that these cybersecurity attacks have been backed up with high statistical data. And that is what we would like to include and highlight during the presentations as well. We have understood that there was a recent study conducted by Accenture, and they found out that the average cost of malware attack in a company would vary anywhere between $2.6 million. Now, this itself is a very high amount for a small or a medium-sized company. In the similar way, in due light of pandemic, FBI did their research and highlighted that the rates of cyber security crimes reported had raised up to by 300%. In the same way, we highlighted and have statistical data that in the year 2020, there was about 58% rise in the data breach recorded within only the healthcare sector. Multiple giants have been doing their best to protect your services. Google itself, in the month of April 2020, made sure that about 18 million mails daily with regards to malware and phishing emails in regards to COVID-19 situations, alerts were discarded by them. The world is facing grave danger of security threats, and Sri Lanka is not behind as well. Within Sri Lanka, in recent times, it is highlighted that the number of cybersecurity attacks are growing, and even the most secure domains, which are government or the org domains, are also falling prey to such attacks. Everyone would be well aware of the corporate giant, Cognizant CTS. Now, this was recently attacked by a ransomware called Maze. Ransomware called Maze. Now, this ransomware resulted in disruption of companies' clients, resulting in CTS spending about $50 to $70 million to make sure that their services were restored. These itself give a very high figures of how sensitive our information security domain is. And with other statistics to back this claim, I would like to highlight that there was a study done over a period of 15 years, and there was a steep increase in the information security breaches and record lost rates over the period of past 1 year. This is mainly because the new normal came into force, wherein the people were forced to work from home. Our information security aspects were compromised, and not having sufficiently skilled skill set of employees to manage this information security controls led to a steep increase on these trends. The sole agenda of today's seminar is to make sure that cert value with Halcyon can contribute their maximum to make sure everyone at least attending these seminars are well aware of how and what are the minimum security controls that can be implemented within the organization to avoid these breaches and record losses. Now, with all these statistics put under one roof, we were able to identify that the total number of attacks by hackers are about 2,244 times in a day. This gets to a total that every 39 seconds, there is one hacker who attacks an organization globally. Nevertheless, if there were not a sufficient security controls put into practice now, it is considered that the ransomware damage cost in the year 2021 can rise up to 20 billion, and putting us on a still worse situation wherein these attacks can happen at a frequency of 11 seconds at a time. Now, these concerns are definitely alarming. The stakes are higher, and the losses due to these information security incidents are even higher. The reputation of the company is in jeopardy. And it is now time for everyone present in this presentation today to think, are they doing enough? Are the security practices within the organization enough? Are they evaluated enough? If not, we can definitely help you in this journey to make sure that your information security practices are kept up to date so that you are not amongst those who would be attacked in the next 11 seconds. With that said, I would like to also highlight why exactly these security incidents happen. What are those loopholes that these attackers exploit? Now, there are certain common loopholes that, according to our studies, which we have highlighted, many more are yet to be exploited by hackers, and we are on a go wherein we can save all our clients with making sure that information security is something that we are highlighting on regular intervals and making sure that information security is managed and adequately maintained within the organization. Some of the weaknesses within the organizations that are usually exploited are weak or stolen credentials. We have highlighted and even understood that 91% of breaches start with emails. poor information security awareness amongst employees is one of the key reasons for these attacks to be executed. Also, poorly designed network, poor softwares that are installed, improper configurations, over permissions means lack of access control, malicious links and softwares being installed within the organization's network are some of the reasons which are leading to this increase in security incidents. Now, we have highlighted how these security incidents happen. Now, let me also give you an understanding of how Cert Value and Halcyon can help you. We do have a variety of services that we provide to our clients. Taking advantage of these services is what you can ensure that your system is free from any security incident breaches, and we can make sure that you have 99.9% information security incident proof organization. Okay. Now, let us see what are the services that we can provide. We can help you with implementation services for ISO 27001-2013, which is an information security management system. We can also assist you with privacy management system, a revised and a latest standard introduced by ISO. We can also help you with your GDPR compliance. Technical assistance in terms of vulnerability assistance and penetration testing is what we can provide you with. We also have services like PCI DSS, HIPAA, and SOC 1 and SOC 2 services that we can facilitate, ensuring that appropriate information security management system is implemented within your organization. Now, for companies who are taking a step towards information security management, or for companies who are revamping their information security controls, taking into consideration the latest risks that they have been encountering. The best way to go forward is to implement ISO 27001-2013. Now, why this standard? This is an ISO standard which is the most implemented globally. The only reason why, because this standard enables to set a framework for information security management, and this would cover all business functions and processes associated with information assets, ensuring to provide customers, employees, business partners assurance that their data and information is protected within the organization. This in turn would nurture their trust. In the similar terms, I would also like to highlight that ISO 27001 is an information security management system standard. Now, this standard mainly emphasizes the need to identify the risks within the organization. Once identified, these risks needs to be controlled by putting appropriate controls. And then while putting the controls, we ensure that all the information within the organization remains secure. This standard can help small, medium, large businesses of any sector to keep their information assets secure. Due to its universal acceptance, this standard is one among the top implemented standard. Also, I would like to highlight, implementing a standard is only one part of the entire journey. It is just a baby step towards a whole world of information security that can be explored. And in this baby step of yours, Cert Value, along with our partners, Halcyon Group, would be happy to assist you. We not only would help you with the implementation of the standard, but also guide you through the technological advancements that you can implement within the organization to better manage your information security controls. Now, this 27001 standard talks about various requirements that the standard demands to be implemented when it comes to information security management. The key aspects or the purpose of this standard are to ensure that it preserves the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information by applying risk management processes and giving confidence among your interested parties that the risks are adequately managed. This is the main purpose why various organizations globally are now adopting to ISMS, which is Information Security Management System. This information management system mainly has three main aspects. It covers people, which are your organizational staff, processes, mainly the business operations, and technology, which is the technology used within the organization. Based on these three aspects are various requirements of the standard implemented. The standard is based on 10 clauses. These 10 clauses are then divided across 4 phases. These phases are given by Dr. Edward Deming and also is called as the PDCA cycle, wherein clauses from 0 to 7 fall under planning. This is one of the key steps wherein we plan our whole information security management program. Once planned, we then move to the phase 2, which is called as do. That is doing what has been planned. Okay, and here we control the clause 8 of the standard, which is operations. Going to the third phase is to check what we have done, and that is called as monitoring and covers the clause 9, which is performance evaluation of the standard, followed by the fourth phase, which is act. Here is what we assess whether what was planned has been achieved. If yes, how can we work towards continual improvement of our ISMS, governed by the 10th clause of the standard, which is improvement. During the implementation with us, we would make sure that all the clauses along with their sub-clauses are implemented and the organization is able to write benefits of each of these sub-clauses. Along with the standard, which is 27001, there is a subset standard provided. Now, this standard is about the guidelines on how do we make sure that the identified risks within 27001 are addressed. And to make this activity even easy, what did the standard do? It gave us a code of practice for information security controls, which lists down 114 controls. These controls are divided across 14 security domains. Now, these controls are all collected under a single document, also referred to as Annex A or SOA, which is Statement of Applicability. During the implementation cycle that we undertake, all these 114 controls are implemented depending on the risk assessed within the organization. And we help you in the entire process, starting from assessing the risk to putting adequate controls over the assessed risk, making sure that security concerns are addressed and mitigated at the right time before they can cause harm to the organization. The next is, with the help of the requirements given in 27001 and the code of practices or guidelines mentioned in the 27002, we have a management system framework which gets implemented at any client location where they would want to get compliant and certified with ISO standard. This framework is divided into 4 main levels, right from the high-level implementation of policy, identifying the risk, and putting controls from the SOA document given by 27002 to writing down the processes, which is creating of standard operating procedures, nothing but SOPs, to defining tasks and activities like work instructions, formation of checklists, in order to make sure that all the activities are maintained up to date and regular audits are conducted. The final level is where we help organizations develop their information security related objectives, making sure that continual improvement is never left behind. Now, while this process of implementation is in progress, these information management system frameworks are suggested by us to ensure that information security are achieved by putting adequate controls at following levels. One is at application level. We make sure that there are adequate controls on information handling, network security, operational security, access control, end user education, which are trainings, and in the disaster recovery or business continuity planning. We help you in developing framework for each and every aspect which are considered vital for any organization's information security. Now, how exactly will cert value and Halcyon help you? That would be a question that would be bothering you right from the start of the presentation, because we would have companies who have already implemented ISO standards, companies which are willing to involve in implementation of these standards, and people from different walks of life who are interested to know about information security management system. So let me tell you how exactly will cert value and Halcyon help you, and try to identify why exactly is it best to work with us. Our team has an experienced set of personnel along with subject matter experts who would not only help you in understanding the requirements of the standard, but also help organizations in complete implementation of this information security management system standard. Also, we would like to engage with customers to provide customized services. All our project engagements are completely customized to accommodate clients' requirement. We have successfully completed projects with clients which represent enterprise level, large organizations, medium scale organization, and even small organizations. We exactly know what the client requirements are and expectations from us, and accordingly is what we customize our engagements. We would also work with clients with actively suggesting and implementing latest technologies to detect the breaches at early stages and to maintain a healthy and up-to-date security posture. Also, we would effectively work with your team in developing a robust business continuity plan and proper backup planning to make sure that minimum damage happen to an organization in case of a incident breach or a security event. The various technological and process oriented approach that CertValue and Halcyon have been able to get around our existing clients are network security. We work with our clients on a very robust and dynamic training module. We do provide malware protection solutions. We do provide solutions to make sure that there is adequate controls on removable media, secured configuration, incident management as a service is also what we help the clients with. We also help them in monitoring and measuring their security events and logging. We also help them in implementing the state of art technology to manage work from home and remote working situations. Now, when we talk about customized services for our clients, we have a well-planned and well-documented system that we present our clients before they are onboarded, which includes our entire service divided into 5 key steps. The first step starts with management addressing their requirements, which our subject matter experts first analyze and come up with a customized project plan. This project plan highlights all the security milestones that CertValue and Halcyon would make sure that they are met during the entire implementation cycle. The second step is where the team then conducts a thorough gap analysis. This step is to identify how an organization is working and what are the controls present to handle any security incidents within the organization. This is a very crucial step because here is what the entire pathway for implementation cycle is described. The team then compares your inputs with the standard requirements and highlights a report, which is gap analysis report, mentioning any shortcomings that are there within the organization, and if worked upon can definitely make sure that organization's security posture is improved. The third step is where the team then gets in touch with every department within the organization and scope of audit and help them create documentation and processes with regards to the gaps identified earlier. With the creation of processes begins the implementation. If required to provide technological assistance is when the team actively involves in suggesting the best technological advancement that the client can adopt to, and also facilitate the same in terms of providing and setting up the system. The third step is where we would the fourth I'm extremely sorry the fourth step is where we do provide adequate trainings to your team in terms of awareness and in terms of how internal audits has to happen within the organization. With this is what we make sure that not only implementation of the controls have happened, but a robust maintenance system is also put into place, wherein there is a provision for regular audits. Also in this step is what we provide an internal audit for the organization based on the information security requirements and controls. Now, once the information security internal audit is done, and if there are any concerns highlighted, we then carry out a root cause analysis, making sure that these concerns are addressed and the management is made well aware and is make sure that adequate steps are taken to address these concerns. At the fifth and the final stage is where we would then help you in assisting with the external audit. We would recommend the certification bodies that you can go ahead with and get yourself certified, and also help you in clearing the external audit. And post audit, if there are any observations or findings from the auditor, we would also go an extra mile making sure that these findings are addressed. So these are the 5 main phases or steps that Cert Value and Halcyon would be providing as a service for information security to everyone who is willing to take up this service. Now, as we have talked a lot about what are the security concerns, how can Cert Value and Halcyon help, irrespective of whether or not we are going to be selected as one of the service provider, definitely to value the time that everyone has removed over a weekend for being a part of this seminar, there are some key takeaways that we would like to highlight. And few of them are that we request you to always pay attention to warnings that your browser flashes. Also, make sure that you have created a password which is strong, not easy to guess, and are not shared to anyone. We also would request that having a unique password for each account is always beneficial. Make sure that passwords are changed frequently, or there is a password rotation that is followed. Also, certain things like making sure that your antivirus or any security applications on your systems are up to date with all the latest versions. Also, make sure that your systems are adequately backed up to avoid loss of records leading to a financial damage. Not only these learnings, but I would like to highlight that information security is no longer a sole responsibility of a discrete group of people or the CISO, who is the Chief Information Security Officer within an organization. It is not possible to make sure that information security is implemented if it is documented. Documentation is a part of the entire journey. It is only and only possible if everyone within the organization puts in their efforts and collectively make sure that information security controls are adhered to. Also, the most critical link of any information security program are its people, and hence training of employees within the organization about the latest security controls implemented is the best way to step forward in our journey of information security practices. With this to say, I would like to thank everyone to join us for the session and to bear with me during the entire session. Thank you so much. We would now open our window for the Q&A. Thank you.